Hello and welcome back to another episode of In the Spotlight. I'm Jordan O'Brien, editor of Electrical Review. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by David Brazier, country manager of OMICRON Electronics UK. Welcome, David, and thank you for joining us today.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Let's start with a bit about you, actually. Could you tell us more about yourself, your background, and your current role at OMICRON?
My background is I've always been in engineering from around 19, 20 years of age. I started in transformer test field as a test technician. And to be honest, I don't think you ever leave your first position from a mindset. But you evolve. And through diligence, through keenness to progress, I ended up as engineer at the transformer factory, covering all routine tests and type tests accordingly. My interest grew, and GEC, as it was, then sent me on to the university. I progressed my career in parallel with university, which was the thing done in those days. And I still think it's the right way to do because you grow with experience and education. Now, and going forward, I ended up with going through CTs or current transformers, voltage transformers, testing, was chief of test at GC Baltow, which was the instrument transformer factory over at Hickson. Finishing my degree, I ended up going to test laboratory manager for HVDC, which was again Alstom then. These were all the same company; they just changed names as historical. From that point, I came out with a good result, first class honours degree. And got requested if I'd like to take up the role as engineering manager for Siemens Electrification in Birmingham, which was a small team. There was only 3 of us, which you think Siemens is a huge conglomerate. The UK was only 3 of us, but that team now is very big. And we were part of the startup, if you like. During that time, I ended up going from engineer over to sales. As part of the role, I had to multitask. And in that role, I then got spotted by OMICRON and got asked to come and be the area sales manager for the UK and Ireland under the OMICRON banner, based on my technical background of testing. This is, over the last 15 years, has grown. I've had, as I say, I moved over to site management as a part of the role. Since I joined OMICRON, I've just grown roles. I haven't actually left one behind. But the fact is, now we are in a situation where, as a business, it is totally transformed from when I started. So the business here has got a very good reputation for a training academy.
2024 marks 25 years since OMICRON. I know you've been 15 years, I think you said. But it's 25 years since OMICRON actually set up its first office here in the UK. Can you actually share even more about how things have changed over that time, other than just 3 to 16, which is quite growth? What else has changed?
When I started, the OMICRON Electronics had been in the UK already 10 years and had got some connections. With myself joining the company, it allowed that connection to be more focused. And my wish was for the business to grow and become market leader in the UK, because we were already market leader in certain countries with certain devices. Within 3 years, I then was made into site manager for OMICRON business, and given the task of 5-year plan, etc. one of the big noticeable things from joining Omicron was a lot of people wanted to learn about our products, and we hadn't really got the mechanics or the time to give that to them. So I set about getting approval for a training academy, because if somebody knows how to use a device, feels friendly with the device, they're more likely to want the next one. And so we'd got one trainer at the time and technical support, which was Tony Pirelli, doing an excellent job. But he couldn't be everywhere at all times. So I sat down to design a facility that I would want to be trained into. As I said, I started as a test technician. So I put my test technician's hat on and said, what would I need? So I would need physical assets and a place where I could learn in safety. And that is what we've actually created here in Stafford. We have now got a workshop that covers stator windings, cables, bushings, transformers, protection, cyber. We have everything from cradle to grave that we of the technical situation of your utility infrastructure, ground impedance, and the such like. That means this year, for the first time, because over COVID, it went a bit awry. We started doing some online stuff, but a lot of the people that went on the online training said, can we come back and do the physical? Because there's nothing like doing the physical training to learn. And where we are now, this year, we created more courses than we've ever had, which was 32 weeks of the year we would have training here at Stafford. That is omitting trainings on site, or what we call ad hoc training, where a company can come to us and say, I want my guys trained on this specific area. Unfortunately, or fortunately, those 32 weeks were sold by March.
Jesus.
We have now not only filled the 32 weeks, we've added weeks, and we've sold the first quarter of 2025 of trainings.
Wow.
Because we're one of the few places that you can come, sit in comfort, sit in safety, and make the mistakes you need to make to learn. I believe you learn by actually doing it wrong, or finding out where you were wrong.
They always say I was going to say, they always say you learn more from your failures than you do from your success. So
yeah, so as I say, we've got a great team of people. We all, from this facility, we also offer technical support. We've got a direct technical support line, which is 01785 848 084. That will come to our engineers here. So the engineers that are also the trainers can support. In the case where those trainers aren't available, it clicks over to the next application engineer that is available. So you're not going to a call center or an area where you're going to have your question just parked. You go to an application engineer, and it rocks all around the country, or all around the world, into different countries, depending on who's available at the time. The power behind our relationship with the customer is try to give them all of the assistance that they need when they need it. The equipment that's applicable is available when they need it. The business has changed over time by the people within it. Omicron's values are very quite powerful. And so within our values, the actual main levers is the founder wanted it to be a great place to work for the individuals. So there's a lot of flexibility given, a lot of freedom given, because there's a lot of trust. And one of the major levers is a a project called Crossing Borders. Crossing Borders is actually a charity that is building projects in underprivileged areas of the world. And a lot of our profit goes directly to that. And any profit due to giving to a charity is also given to that. So Omicron really tries to make a difference. We are recognised actually for creating very, very good devices, but also people recognise that, hey, it comes at a cost. But one of the things that I would say we're very proud of is how we support the engineer in doing his testing. We don't leave an engineer on his own. We want to support. And as I said, in the training, we've really pushed the training to a new level here in the UK and Ireland. But also we do awareness sessions with companies that have, let's say, 60 or 70 engineers. They can't get rid of them into a training centre. So we will come onto site and do something as a workshop with them. This is all activities that bring us together, and we rely on the customer interaction and the relationship to build trust, because in the end, you would rather do business with people you trust than people that just want to sell you something.
So you would say that even though the technology is obviously important, Omicron is a values-led company, whether or not it's ensuring engineers have the right training or whether or not it's giving back to communities. That's sort of the focus. That's Absolutely. What drives you every single day. And I know we're running out of time for this 10-minute interview, but I just wanted to look ahead and see what's on the horizon for Omicron. How do you plan to continue meeting customer expectations and expand?
Well, thank you for the question. Meeting the new horizons. New horizons is every day. Every day in engineering, something's coming new. You know, if we were to look in 2030, the utilities have huge problems in delivering the new power consumption that will be required. So what Omicron tries to do is we try to beat them there. We try to ensure that whatever equipment you need then, we've got it today. We were one of the first companies to actually step our toes into specific test systems for 61850. Yeah. So Omicron has empowered themselves into ensuring that we're in touch with how the digital systems going forward. We were very involved in projects called Fitness up in Scotland. We're also very involved in the Constellation project that is in the UK Power Networks going forward. So from that point of view, Omicron UK and Ireland, but also Omicron worldwide, are striving to meet these new requirements head on. And we don't know where we're going to end up, anybody in engineering, because the more things that are going digital, you've got AI, you're almost taking the physical as far as AI, but also taking where you would normally conventionally use current and amps. It's ones and zeros, it's digital. And so things are different. So there's an even more step change for engineers because they're used to fault finding on an analog system, and they've got to move to a digital system that then comes back to the training. So we train them, but then the technology moves on. So it's a full circle. And what I've tried to create is a solution to the full circle. Now, you asked us where we were going further. We've secured enough funding to expand the facility to bring in a calibration, repair, logistics hub, in addition to a conference area and additional offices, which we were needing. This will give us then the flexibility of talking to the customer. If he's got a problem, we will have a replacement unit that they can hire or loan, depending on what the functionality or agreement they've got with us.
Yeah.
But also, you will be able to get calibration and repair done locally in the UK. So turnaround will be zero, because if it is that they've got a peak and they can't do without a unit, we'll have a unit to supply to support them, giving a one-stop shop in both education, training, sales, support, calibration and repair, all in Stafford as a hub.
So it's all about supporting engineers, whether or not it's minimizing their downtime or ensuring that they're trained while with this fast-paced changing technology. David, we are out of time, but thank you for sharing those insights with us. It's greatly appreciated. And obviously to you, our viewers, thank you for tuning in. We'll have more insightful interviews from In the Spotlight coming very soon.